noise, but it was picking me up.
Yeah, it picked you up when I put it on earlier.
You making sure that's going? I don't trust that thing anymore.
I know.
Are you checking, Holly?
It just says upcoming like it did before. Oh, hold on. Now it's
There it
working.
goes. Yeah, all right.
Oh.
Weird. All right, so let's start the April 24th, 2024 DDA meeting at 7:02 p.m. We're going to do a call to order.
Ashley Glasser,
We're going to do a pledge of allegiance.
Oh,
Yeah, oh,
I thought call to order was first.
Called orders first.
Roll call. You just called the order at 7:02.
Damn it.
Thank you.
All right,
Sorry.
my bad.
We
Pledge
have the
allegiance.
pledge.
All right.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for adding that. We talked about that, I don't know how many meetings ago.
A lot. We all forgot.
We all forgot.
Reminds me of elementary school.
Huh?
Reminds me of elementary school.
All right, now let's go to roll call.
Ashley Glasser, present. Krista Booth, present.
Steve Schneider, present.
Holly Miller present.
Rose present.
Melissa Schneider, present. Tricia Feldman, present.
Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
The only addition was the American Tree invoice for $352.
All right. Communications, Carolyn Rail, or is that Rail?
Yep. So the Historical Society would like us to reconsider their shed. They have sent what it's going to look like and the colors it's going to be, the roof and the siding. It will have no windows. And it will, she wanted me to reiterate that it will be on pallets, so it'll be easy to be moved.
I thought Andy had brought up that they couldn't put that on grass.
I said the best way to put them would probably be on gravel. I don't know what was code, but that's generally
No,
what
I
it is.
thought that it would sink or something. I didn't
It
know.
could. That's why I said generally when I've done it before, you had to put it on gravel. I said I just didn't know what
Okay.
our code was in town.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought that was like
Yeah.
the weight thing. Like
Well, it is going to sink regardless. If you don't put it on gravel, it's going to sink. That's why
Okay.
generally the code is for, in places I've done them, it's having gravel.
So was that at the meeting I wasn't at?
I think so.
And we said no?
We said no, partially because of if you open the door to one, who's not to say Mikey's doesn't want to throw one up and Craig doesn't want to throw up a shed, and now we got Shed City back there.
Gotcha.
So that was the concerns when it got voted down.
and the ground being grass,
Yeah.
having to meet them if they have to change it to gravel. It's our property too. That's not that when we figured out that it was ours. So then we'd have to change it back to potentially something else. If we didn't want the shed, we'd be responsible for it. We'd have to pull the permits. And we have space in the DDA storage and we can offer it to them and help them, or DPW if they need stuff moving, so the stuff's already in their building, being stored there. So we can assist them with that, but it is our property, so.
That's the concerns we worked through.
For sharing.
Yeah.
And that was the meeting that did not get recorded, so I couldn't
Yeah.
even watch what happened.
That's the communications I have.
Okay.
Um,
Public comment, agenda item, public. Hey, it's nice to have public here.
Right? It's rare.
Can I get, next is approval of a consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, let's move forward. Approval minutes from the April 15th that you're going to see attached.
I want to make a motion to approve with the following exception. And that goes to the languages to each item, what the final,
Oh, the pass by all others in attendance.
yeah, so the proper language, well, and it changes within the minutes. Sometimes it says by all in attendance, others says by all others in attendance. And that's not really clear because that could include you or it could include John sitting out there. Or so what it's supposed to say by all members in attendance. We have been legally designated by the village attorney that each one of you is a member, not an official. Therefore, Ashland gets to sit on the board, Melissa gets to sit on the board.
So
So you are officially designated legally by the village attorney as
So
members.
just change the pass.
So it should be, see,
unanimously by all
Passed
members.
unanimously by all members in attendance.
So that means.
Otherwise, they look.
Then we would have to go back to the other minutes that were like that, don't you?
I beg your pardon?
We don't have to change the other minutes that we already had done.
No,
No.
Okay.
no, this is just these minutes.
So they should all say pass unanimously by members in
By
attendance.
all members
By all
in
members in
attendance.
Okay.
attendance.
But what about,
If
the-
there are
what about
people
the
missing.
ones-
I used the language that she used from the meeting minutes before that you approved, just so you're aware.
That's fine. But we're not addressing those. That's an issue that's passed. And you only have to do that if there are members missing.
Well, I have.
Otherwise,
Otherwise,
just, you can just.
Time out. I have a
Unanimously.
question because Holly abstained, so what would the verbiage be on those? Because Melissa has passed by all others in attendance because there was an abstention.
Would it be passed by all
Other
other
members?
board, all other members?
Yeah,
Okay.
you would say passed by all board members except Miller abstained.
Well, that wouldn't make sense because it says passed by all other board members. Wouldn't it be passed?
We should have a 3-hour argument about this.
No, because it's the way that it's saying passed by, it already says Miller abstained before it. And then it would say passed by all other members in attendance.
You can say that. Yes.
Passed by all others in attendance.
All other members.
Is the key.
You gotta have members in every, whatever we do.
Otherwise, I move to approve the minutes.
I'll
Unless
second.
Holly has.
No, I second. Let's do this.
Any
ahead, no.
further discussion to kick the can down the road?
I just want to clarify, if everyone is here, it's passed unanimously, correct?
No,
This might, yeah, it's my.
Pa-
by all
Okay.
members in attendance.
Pass
No,
unanimously
You
by all.
you only
members
have
in
to say
attendance.
members in attendance if they're missing members.
Thank
Oh,
you.
by all
Right.
members. You
It's
just say all
Passed
members.
unanimous.
We
Thank
just
you.
passed
three
unanimously. Yeah, and then the other two I include the member part
Yeah.
because
Okay,
people are missing.
Okay,
got it,
we good?
yes.
All right, so that was further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, perfect. Approval of bills payable. We need a motion to approve the bills. Please see the reflection of the American Tree bill. That was the addition to the agenda. Does show 392, but that is actually
52.
352 with the discount that was provided to us.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the bills payable in the amount of $1,183.48. I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, pay the bills. Treasurer's report for March, revenue and expenditures. We're gonna need a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion to approve March's revenue and expenditure report.
I will support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Can we get the March check distribution? We're gonna need a motion to approve that.
I have a question about it.
Sure thing.
Yes, ma'am.
The to-dos for February, what is that for?
I think that is to settle up from the previous month. So everything is in a general fund
Uh-huh.
and Kim pays out of the general fund and then
Okay.
she pays it back.
Okay,
She pays the general fund back from our monies.
okay,
That's
All
what,
right.
we have that every single month.
okay.
Yep.
I will make a motion to approve March's check disbursement.
Chris the second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right. That is done. So reports,
Angela has one.
Angela had to run out for a second. DPW report is attached. If anybody has any questions on that, let us know. We can get it back to the DPW. Director's report.
Did we skip finance?
No, it's the next page on
Next
the
page.
back.
No, it's on the next page.
Do you not have it on your minutes?
Might be missing on my little thing. Yes, it is missing. It's okay.
From this one here. It's not on the back of the first page.
It's on the packet, but not where I'm taking minutes.
Oh, okay. Anything on the DPW report? We can move on to the director's report if you want. Oh, I do have one quick question to go back to the DPW report. You asked at the last meeting.
Yes.
Or were they going back to?
They were going, so Andy's talking about the trees on West St. Clair that they pulled out at our last special meeting we had. I did ask at the end, I said, is DPW done with that? They are not done. They just haven't had a minute to go back and deal with the roots and stuff and rip that out. So they are going to still clean that up more.
I would like to also see that they fix that corner in the Pocket Park before our social district opens too.
Oh, that low brick area?
No, that they ran into.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
That's a hazard.
Yes,
If we're
that-
gonna have people
Yeah.
out there. And-
I know that is going to be
I
fixed.
know they need to wait for it to get warm,
Yeah,
Correct.
but
but yes.
So when we were doing the Earth Day, we also found there was a low brick area not too
Oh.
far from there. We need to get that raised.
So yeah,
We got to find out if DPW can't do it.
I volunteered my
She
dad.
volunteered
My
her
dad
dad.
used to lay brick pavers, so he and I
Yeah.
can hammer it out. We only need to pull up like 3 rows and just level it out again, so.
Thankfully, it's the 3 rows that have no names on it. It's those
Okay.
name
Yeah.
bricks.
Angela, did you reach out to DPW regarding the items we wanted them to?
Mhm.
Are they able to do those things or no?
Brian is out of town.
Oh, that's right.
So
okay.
I did put work orders in with the pictures.
And then Melissa just brought up, we just want to make sure that that corner that they hit is going to get fixed. I know it is, but just make sure it's, I know we have to wait till it gets warmer, but of the wall.
Yes, they are.
Just make sure
aware
that's still in
of
their
fixing that.
plan.
So when they say that they're going back to that section, what are they gonna do? Just clean it up, or is there a plan to spruce it up?
DPW is not responsible to spruce it up. We just asked them to pull the trees. We need to decide what we're going to do there.
But
we should do anything.
I think it should just be grass. All the other
Yeah.
corners are grass. We talked about doing something, but then I went and looked and everything else is grass on those 4 corners and there is so little room. And I wouldn't want someone to hit something or, kind of defeats the purpose of taking out the trees that we just took out, really.
Correct.
And I asked
Makes sense?
business owners on that corner and they said if we put like pots, put plants in them there, that would be great.
Hitting them.
Huh?
So I would just worry about people hitting them, honestly. That's my
Don't
2
rent
cents.
them.
No,
So do we have to
could
rent
just buy
them?
the ones that are like.
No, we just bought those. I mean, I think. what
No,
would
but
go
then
to
also
2.
DPW's got a weed whack around those, and if we put the wood ones there, they're just gonna get tore up. And
That small amount of space, yeah.
I think it should just be
Grass.
grass, my 2
Yeah,
cents.
per Connie, when I talked to the wood ones, she said you wanted to keep them full with dirt and or water. But basically all the bottoms rotted out of those, which they're just a
Well,
hole.
they were old, yeah.
But if we keep the wood ones in an area that gets salted, they're not gonna make it.
Mm.
So that is the hard part with all the salt that gets thrown on.
We should
those
pull them
roads.
in.
In there is fine at the pocket park. They lasted years.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how much they get salted, but I'm just saying, if we put those where you're talking about.
Yeah.
They're not gonna last.
No, I don't think so. So then on that note, can we ask DPW if when they're done, if they will spread seed or if we need to?
There you go.
For that, thank you.
Um,
We were on the director's report though.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I feel like you guys already know everything that's going on. Birthday went great. Thank you to the entire board for showing up and working. It was a great day. We had over 50 volunteers, which was crazy. I've been working with Dale on the social district almost daily. Lara has needed something clarified or specified that wasn't already, but everything, fingers crossed, should be good to go. I believe they're looking at having it done by the end of the month, which is next week. I have made a business update sheet with all of our events to take to the businesses. I've been trying to hit a few a day, talking through social district, as well as our goals and priorities for the year, so they know what we're working on, and also hearing from them what they think they need or what could benefit them. On that note, the carryout only parking signs were a little bit controversial. I think they've been working really well. The businesses have appreciated having them. But when we're talking about one on the other side of the street, I'm not sure everyone's thoughts on that. I don't think it should say carry out only, but if we had a 15-minute parking sign
For which one?
for Trisha's side. Do you
There's
think you would
only one
benefit?
business, there's only one business that
Well, that's not
that
really
does food, that does
Right,
food,
so
right?
that's
what I'm saying. So if
why,
I didn't
Yeah.
put carry out only, if I did 15-minute or 20-minute only parking, would that
I think that would be
benefit or
nice.
no?
People could pop into Randazzo's and pick
Yeah.
up their order. People could pop into Bluebird, pick up
And
their order.
Yarborough's and
If
Redmond.
someone needed to run into the dentist to drop off or pick up something, I think that serves them. I think if someone needs to run into Yarborough and pay a bill, I think 15 or 20-minute, whatever you want to call it, parking sign is a great idea.
Yeah,
I'm not opposed to it.
different than carry out. The only thing I
Yeah,
was mentioning is that
right.
there would only be one
Right, it would only
business in and
serve
they're
the
only
Bluebird then,
open
right.
4 days a week, so.
Yeah, I'm not offended by it.
I actually would prefer that somebody park there and come shop in my store and then go pick up their order in more than 15 minutes. In which that does happen, but I can see it both ways.
Keep it, the hard part to keep it uniform. I mean, where you're gonna see most of the in and out is what's gonna be the carry out, right? Usually,
During lunchtime,
lunch, dinner, I don't know.
they're only open till 6.
I
and
agree.
it's only
I
in
was
summer.
just on the one side of the lot, it's mostly restaurants, so it made sense to say carry out only. On the other side of the street, there are other businesses that aren't carry out that may need quick, like I have to run in and pick something up, and I don't want them to not have a spot because it says carry out and they're going into the Jewelers or Trisha's to run in for 15 minutes.
Well, hopefully we will have a parking lot on School Street for them to take a little brisk walk down there and get what they need.
So you want to start regulating the parking there now?
Stop! Don't say that.
Yeah,
Please.
well, first of all, who's going to enforce it? You think our police department is going to be doing that?
I
Even-
think people
and-
have personal responsibility.
Right,
think
I
it's
don't
the honor
think it needs to
system.
be enforced either.
I think it's the honor
Right.
system reality, right?
I don't carry, I just think that parking lot is so small too.
It is.
It's a small, it is limited space, whereas the two, all of that stuff behind the restaurants. I don't know, I mean, during the day, it does get pretty busy, but if you're only designating one spot to 15 minutes, then if people are respecting that and they need longer, then they're gonna have to find a parking spot someplace further down the road. It's like handicap parking spots if
And we don't have to do anything in that lot. It was just, just trying to,
I could see it being useful on the one side of the street, but not on southbound. Because you have the restaurants, and then if you go onto the other side, then there's the post office who's really in there longer. Hopefully no one's in there longer than 15 minutes. There's Good Grounds. And then there's the other post office where you get the P.O. boxes. And Gassenbecker, which they have their own parking lot, but
I think you should ask them to see how beneficial that would be too, like if they have people that come in like that, like pop in and out. I don't know how often that happens.
and then it's like on the southbound side, it's like does Randazzo's have access to come in from the back parking lot?
No, but
Where
that's
on
still
the
where
big-
their customers park generally because
I mean, no
there's
one
only
on
so
that
many
side
spots
has
on the road.
back lot access.
Yeah, we do.
I don't think so.
Some
Well,
do.
except you
We do.
guys.
But on that side,
And
there's
DPT does.
The DPT.
Well, yeah, you don't. You do, but you don't for your customers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I say
Honest,
maybe just poll them and find out verbiage wise, carry out or 15-minute, which one works better.
Or if they would work. I don't, if it would be beneficial to
Well,
them.
I
If
can
they-
already tell you they're gonna say 15-minute over carry out.
Well, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's only
obviously.
one restaurant, there's only one person that's gonna say
Yeah. So ask
carry out.
if it's something they would like. I can tell you Yarborough's definitely has a lot of people popping in throughout the day just to pay a quick bill because
Okay.
I sit there. I very rarely have a customer pop in for 15 minutes, so I don't really care.
I
If
know
it helps everyone else,
Randazzo's
that's
has
great.
people run in and grab
yeah, we
Mhm.
do.
pickups.
I feel like they do, yeah. So
Question whether the DDA has legal authority to regulate parking,
there are
Main
parking
Street.
lots. Why don't we?
in parking lots.
Yeah, we're talking
Oh,
about in our
yeah.
lot.
Not the street.
No.
No,
Oh,
no, never
okay.
the street.
I must have
No.
been sitting under the,
No,
Yes.
no, no.
Just
That's
our-
M53. That's M53, Steve. We're not
No.
battling MDOT.
No.
That's an uphill battle.
the parking lot. Oh, now it makes sense.
Yes, the parking.
Okay, cool.
I was wondering where you're coming with the first question.
Yeah, I was like, what the, okay.
Yeah, poll them for verbiage and which direction to go and get a consensus from all the businesses.
Yeah.
So basically, you're taking one spot and making sure that employees and owners don't park there, really.
And can we have, when you do this, actually, let me put that out there, can we have the conversation again with all the business owners? If you're not gonna be there for more than 15, 20 minutes, park in the road. I'm guilty, don't get me wrong. I've definitely done it. I usually do it only when the parking lot's empty, but we all need a reminder because that parking lot is just overflowing every single day. It's bad.
And I can tell you as a recent 3-day-a-week user of DPT, I park on Van Dyke because
And there are
It's
people
easier.
that live there that use up those parking spots and we have to, account for that. It is what it is. So,
How do can we just have their cars towed?
no, I mean, we have to deal with it.
No, I'm asking those people that are parking in there, that what is our solution to that part?
They
There is no solution. They live there.
live
You talking about
above
the people
those
that live there?
buildings.
Oh, they can park in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute, that's not overnight parking though, is it?
for
It's
that.
not now.
It is if they're a resident.
Correct.
Each apartment is only.
Oh, I
supposed to
thought
have
you were
one
talking about the
spot.
house next to there.
No.
That was
The
my
people that
question,
live-
I apologize.
The
That
people
that
that
makes
live
sense,
behind
yeah.
the Bluebird and there's people
Yeah.
that live
Privileges.
upstairs
No,
in at least one of the buildings.
no, they should not be utilizing that lot at all.
I think there's 3 apartments on that all
There's
have
3.
parking spots. French Drain Man and then 2 at Aurora.
So, I mean, that just is what it is. So, yeah, please remind everyone when you talk to them. I'll take my reminder right now. Thank you.
And really the same for the other side of the street, that's why we have the use agreement with the church lot employees, and that should be really parking in the church lot, so that way that whole back lot is utilized for patrons, so remind them of that. I've heard that too. A lot of owners and employees are parking back there, taking up prime parking real estate.
I agree, but that's, again, we can keep reminding, but
Right?
I know,
That's all I'm saying,
That's gonna
right?
be on-
Again, it's not something we're going to be out there policing, but
Right.
let's remind them. It's helpful to everyone
right.
although
so that
if you
everyone's
want
customers.
to buy me an orange golf cart and a ticket pad, I will sit out there as long as you want.
Listen, people hate us enough. Let's not go there.
Where was I? I've registered for the summer MBA conference, so I'll be in Harbor Springs at the end of May.
I was gonna say, can I sign up?
Yeah, you can.
Can I?
Yes.
Lord.
Holly
for
and I will
myself.
be in Harbor Springs at the end of May.
I wanna go to Harbor
I have a
Springs for the
hoodie that
weekend.
says Harbor Springs you can
I'm
borrow.
jealous.
too.
No,
Let's
let's
do
try
it.
it. I'm not going back.
And I guess we can talk about the School Street property. You want to do that now, or can't remember if I put it?
I think it's on the agenda, or the demolition.
Well, no, there's a little bit more, there's a little bit more complexity to
Yeah.
it. You want
So-
to just talk about it?
Wait, the last thing I'll say is I met with the county DDA directors and Sam Moore and Dana Walker for our monthly meeting, and we met at Senor Victor's, and everyone, all they can talk about is how Almont has the best food in the county. So,
Ooh. It's definitely the cutest.
and it's okay. Now,
Let-
School Street property.
Yeah, so we had some hiccups, not us, had some hiccups at the closing on the School Street property. It was all signed, and at the last minute, so that is owned by Chickies LLC. They asked her if she had an operating agreement, which she said, no, I don't, it's just me. Went to closing, she showed up with a whole bunch of paperwork, didn't know what to do with it, gave it to the title person, and guess what was in there? An operating agreement. That operating agreement had her and her deceased boyfriend as members. So unfortunately, we closed an escrow, and they have now unofficially, we've officially had to back out of that deal.
Just the closing.
just
The
the
deal
closing.
is not dead.
Correct. Chicky met with a probate attorney. We don't have any updates of what occurred with that.
And she has a lot going on right now. If everyone doesn't know, she was hit on her motorcycle last Tuesday, I think it was. So she's got a lot going. She's got broken ribs and all the things. And so she's got a lot on her plate at the moment.
So at closing, she had to get a ride there. She couldn't sit. She was in a lot of pain. So she's working through that. So once we get an answer back from Carl, her agent will then go and rewrite another offer, just so that way it's officially
We're
out
probably just going to do an addendum to the existing purchase agreement because it's still valid.
Yeah.
Just extending the closing date out. We're just trying to figure out how much time we need, and her attorney will be able to tell her how long he thinks this is going to take.
So unfortunately, a little bit of a hiccup with it. So we were signed. We were all ready to go. I had to get somewhere, and I was trying to leave, and all of a sudden, oops. So that's where we're at with it. It's unfortunate. Any questions?
No, but I would like to probably take number 2 off of finance then. New business finance, because there's no reason to even approve an appraisal. If it is going to probate.
Well, I'd like
No.
no.
Those
No,
are
those are different lots.
Different lots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've
okay.
already
Never
done our
mind.
appraisal.
Yeah, that appraisal was done.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking I saw something in this packet for.
Oh, the RFPs for demolition
RFPs.
and paving?
Yeah,
That's
where's that
just
at?
under discussion.
Under
I just kind of
Okay.
wanted to give those to you guys so we could look over them
Okay, never mind
ahead
then.
of time.
Yeah. So let's go to new business finance. So 2024, 2025 budget, the first read. This is the proposed budget for next year. We need, this is just a discussion, correct?
Yep.
So this is just a discussion. Holly, do you want to talk through different points that are changes that you've made?
So this is, Kim did this up for us. Let me start there. I certainly have thoughts and opinions. I guess, has anyone looked at it? Does anyone have any questions before I go on my thoughts? No?
It's up to you.
Anyone?
I mean, I can give my, what was added and.
I know what
reasons.
was. You don't have to. That's what I'll go through that. It's fine. I just want to know if anyone had any questions before I started. So first item is legal fees was increased a ton. Do you know if there was a reason for that? I guess I do need your help.
The legal fees with that was because we were intending on purchasing property and
Where are you at? I'm sorry, is
This would be page 2.
Oh,
of
page 2.
the
Okay, I'm
budget,
sorry, I'm
yeah.
looking, yeah.
I don't really have any issue with the entire first page, so.
And the possibility of, I believe when we first sat down and started talking about this, it was, we weren't sure what was going on with the Bristol Street lot spaces that were being staked off. So it was just preemptive in case we had, so we can lower that.
Yeah, I would propose to lower that to like 2,000. I feel like that's pretty excessive. Any thoughts?
I think well, last year you were at 3,400. And
No, that's 2 years ago. This year we're
Yeah.
at 850.
I'm sorry, that's our budget year. When is it over with?
June.
In June? Oh, then yeah.
So I wouldn't go below 1,500 for sure, but we can do you want to do 15 too?
I'm fine with 2. Maintenance and service contracts, police,
That's the 15,000.
it's 15,000,
There's no reason for that.
right? And so you'll see we didn't spend anything, but that's because the police did not bill us for Heritage Fest. We had a budget in that I decreased, I think it was, we were talking about this earlier, it was 3,000 or 5,000, I can't remember, but we
Yeah.
dropped it when we did amendments earlier in the year. I don't think $15,000 is necessary. I would recommend like 5 maybe.
So let me speak to that issue, because I know where that comes from.
Okay.
That is so that Almont's police chief will be saying toodaloo. Village council authorized 15 from the village's budget and 15 from DDA's budget. Actually,
I ask how you-
we anticipated that there was going to have to be a payout of 30 to the chief to leave well before December 31st. At this point, it looks like it'll be the last day of May. And our manager was able to negotiate a transaction where I think it's going to come in around $27,000 some dollars.
Why isn't the township paying half? Why didn't he ask the township to pay half? I'm just
Wait,
curious.
why didn't-
Also, no.
How did council authorize?
Township is not,
I'm just asking, they pay for half of the police services. That it's just a general curiosity why the township wasn't approached. Because
why would they be?
Because they pay for
He's
half
not an
their-
employee of the township.
Yeah, but they pay for half the policing. I'm just curious, or that's
It's
why it
irrelevant.
wasn't.
The township is irrelevant. Has absolutely nothing to do with the employment of the police chief. Only, he's the village police chief. That's like asking us to deal with the fire chief, Don Smith.
No, I'm
And
saying
his-
they pay half of the policing
I'm saying,
fund, the pay to them.
there's no authority where we could even put any pressure on the township.
I'm not, yeah, but there's no
kick
authority
anything.
for the DDA to have to pay it either. Why are we
Fine.
paying for
Then
it? No, I'm asking, why are they asking us to pay for it? For a few events?
Because you want him gone,
Oh,
like,
No,
okay, so if you don't, then keep him. Fine.
I'm just asking why the DDA is being approached when
No,
the
DDA
we haven't
wasn't
even
approached.
been
Yeah.
approached.
Yeah.
well,
No
why
one
is this?
said a word to us about this.
So have you had any discussion, Angela?
I
With the
have never
manager?
been in a discussion with what you are saying. What I was told is the $15,000 would guarantee us as much police services as we want for any event. And Heritage Fest, he even gave me like specific numbers of how many police officers would be there. This is the first I'm hearing about what that money was intended to be used for.
That's my understanding, why it's at that number.
The
That's my
15?
understanding.
Well,
What she said or what you just said?
what he said.
Oh. Yeah, I would say any
We have
discussion
never
that
been-
I've been involved is earmarking money for police usage, for presence, for anything. I don't know why we would be paying for his buyout.
I would not approve
Yeah.
us contributing to a buyout of the police chief.
There's no guarantee either that we're gonna get those police during those events because that's between them and their contracts with their unions. Like we can't he can't guarantee that all those police would be there either way. He's saying that if we pay this, then we're gonna get more, a certain number, but you can't say that for certain, because it's in their contract, right? So,
I would say, even when I met with Andy, he did tell me we're gonna have to get other entities out to support it because they can't support Heritage Fest to what we need. Even if they get all their guys involved, we still have to hire out at the scope we're at now. So,
That's my understanding.
yeah.
But we're anticipating if this manages to get through, which sounds like now it won't, a new chief, where there'd be entirely different type of leadership. Because there's a leadership issue. And so the hope was we'd be able to get a new chief. But it sounds like maybe that's not going to happen. So.
But
That's all-
good.
That's all. I am surprised that it was not discussed by the manager
yeah, I
with
think that.
anybody from DDA.
I think that should have been something that, I mean, if it's just put on here and she was told that then, and we would have passed it, then we would have been passing it under different pretenses, not knowing that we're paying for somebody, to leave as a
Regardless,
buyout,
we'd still
you know?
have to approve the expense as a
Right.
board, whether it's in our budget or not. It really doesn't matter, but we've
The-
never been approached about it.
So I guess here, so when we have money now earmarked for DPW, is any of that going to be open for discussion for buyouts and stuff? Or is that, because our assumption with what we're doing with DPW, it's for hours used. And that's been that process.
So, yeah, that's
I,
disturbing. So the manager did reach an agreement with the chief. But it was, I think it was based on the DDA's participation in the financing of it. That essentially, I think, was addressed at the workshop council had.
Would they have to get a motion from our board to approve that?
No,
Having
they
those
just
funds
needed-
go to that?
They just need it approved in our budget,
Oh, okay.
Right,
right?
yes.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that conversation from the village
So-
manager should have came to either Angela or me as the chair.
or they could have come to any meeting to
Right.
discuss it with us.
Right.
I got nothing.
So,
I'm surprised.
moving
I wish
forward,
that was not, I wish that was stated.
that makes me really uncomfortable having the village manage our funds now, to be perfectly honest.
I didn't hear your whole sentence.
I said that makes me really uncomfortable having the village manage our funds at this point.
I mean, our funds are not for village pocketbooks.
They're not for village manager to make deals with people. That's not okay. Like, because our budget's gonna say, so for DPW, we have a line item of 10,200 now for salary. Does that mean village is just gonna bill us 10 grand a year no matter what they do? Well, that's how they're taking the $15,000 that they put in our budget.
Mm-hmm.
Do we just need to make those zeros so they don't think that they just get that money for no reason? Or that they can do what they want with that money? I'm not,
No, and your budget has to pass council at the next meeting too. And I don't have answers to that. And I'm assuming that that's what that 15 stands for. See if I can get any answers.
When is this budget?
Yeah,
As
when
we go
is-
before next in May?
I thought it was June.
Sorry, I'm seeing if I get any quick answers.
The budget is already in May. I thought, we thought it was in
I
June
thought it
that
was
it needed
June.
to go before.
Right.
The budget goes
Budget.
before council in June, doesn't it? I didn't think it was in May.
I thought the budget hearing was the first June meeting.
So we
Does
might
that
have a month.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's what I was
I'm
thinking.
not sure. I got the impression it's coming right up.
Yeah, I was thinking like a month from
Well,
now.
they usually have their budget hearing the first week of,
well,
doesn't matter. what-
regardless of what they think the $15,000 is for, we need to work through our budget. So I would be comfortable maybe I don't know, I'm not comfortable with anything right now. I don't know. Someone else needs to.
I don't think it
Talk
should
about
go
that.
above of what we did last year, only because I hope that with new leadership, like everything things our relationship with the police is good and we have them being used, in our special events, like have them there, making sure things are safe. But I spoke out against paying or reimbursing the village for the Heritage Festival for the police salaries. So unless we are actually seeing this happen, where there is a better leadership, as you were to say, then why would we want to increase our contributions when things haven't been proven to us that there's going to be more involvement, or we're getting something more, I guess, for.
In a plan of action, which is
Right.
what
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think is
like,
most important, like a written plan of action on what services we can expect to see.
Yeah, because we're
And-
tripling it.
right, well, not even tripling. So what was our total bill for Heritage Fest? $800,
It wasn't,
700?
it was under $1,000.
Right,
whatever
so
it
that
had
was
been.
that was for Heritage Fest, right? How do we go from
It was
$800?
It was 400 or something that was for the part-time for Friday, but we didn't pay the rest.
We didn't pay the rest, but the
Yeah.
bill was somewhere in the 850 range for all day Saturday, really,
And then
right?
holiday is usually about $300 or $400.
So
Oh, do we know what police was last year?
that's what we're saying.
I believe we had budgeted,
Well, it's 1380.
We amended our budget though and lowered
Right.
it because we hadn't used it.
Yeah,
and we were
Right.
moving things around.
So
I
who
believe
put-
we budgeted 3,000 or 5,000.
So who put in that 15?
Him.
Him.
And I don't.
And
have-
I was
It
in
wasn't
that
ours.
meeting, but what was told to me was that $15,000 was going to guarantee, and I
For
guess.
police services.
Yeah, correct.
That would be a
Yeah.
lot of
I-
services.
I might be wrong.
But, and I
Possible.
said, I do not think, or I said, I have to take this to my board, and they're gonna want a plan and exactly what we're getting for this amount of money.
Well, and here's the thing, just because we budget for it doesn't mean
They
that
just take it.
they get to just take that money.
Correct.
Let's be clear. Bills need to appear and it needs to be accountable and we need to know what happened. It's not like they just get that money even if somebody
Well,
thinks that. So that's not how it works.
Well, the thing is, and we also spent, let's say, $1,000 for Heritage Fest and Holiday. That's 15 times that number.
Right.
We don't even need to account for that, especially after being told they can't support Heritage in its entirety, and we're gonna have to hire out. We're gonna have to use that other money towards the rest of Heritage Fest. So
I think the other thing that was said to me was that council would be more comfortable seeing an increase in our police budget with the social district. I just wanted
Mhm.
to pass that along.
1,380 to $5,000 is a decrease.
So I don't know, what do you want to put it at, 3, 5?
I'd be more comfortable at 5, assuming that we're going to have to hire in more help during those events.
Well, that's not
That-
for help. That's
that would be
for
a-
the
That
police.
is for.
That'd be a
If we
different
hire
number.
a contract, we get billed directly to that event
Event.
because we have accounts for each event.
Correct.
So if we're hiring outside of the police department, it's going to go
Even
straight
if
to the
it's
Heritage
sheriff?
Fest costs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is only internal. That's an internal code number.
Do we have a budget on our website? Past ones?
Yes.
It's under the folder, finance folder, I believe. So are you saying 3 or 5?
Did we go over?
Did you go under the
1380
documents
last
tab,
year?
Melissa?
Then I wouldn't go 5,
Agendas,
I'd do
public
3.
notices, finances, approved budgets.
I was going to say 2,500, so
Yeah,
that
that
sounds
sounds
generous
better.
to me.
What?
I was going to say 2,500, so 3,000 sounds generous to me.
Anything more than that, we're gonna need invoices and paper trail.
We need it
And we can
regardless.
always
Well,
amend
yeah,
our
but-
budget.
Right. Yeah, for some reason they're showing us the worth to have it. We could always amend it and add more, but even if we go to $3,000, that's 3 times what we paid last year.
It
We get
was-
Well, it's adding for if we do have board of social districting.
It's $4,350. It looks like
Was the old
that
budget.
was that's amended.
Yeah.
I have it here, Melissa, just hang on one second. It wasn't that long ago we amended it, so. It was 5,000 was what we had budgeted for this fiscal year previously.
We use less. We did use less than 1,300.
I think I do want to see an improvement, and I do, if they're policing more our social district, if that's, like, that is something to consider, but this is, we can't even say that this is gonna be for that some of this stuff, so I don't,
Well, Steve's already come out and said what it's for. It's not what we
yeah.
were told it was for. So
Well, hang on a second. When you hear that even number, I know it matches what was discussed at the council workshop. We're talking in terms of 15 from village coffers and 15 from DDA coffers. But I don't know that number represents that. I don't know that for certain. And so I've done a text to see if I can get a response to that.
I guess my question is how are our coffers even brought up in a buyout discussion?
But also, why would it be a 50-50 split?
Right. I don't
There
know.
should be no involvement period as far as I'm
Correct.
concerned, or
Yeah.
it should have been discussed with us at
Right.
any point in time. I
I
don't
would,
care if it's part of our budget or not, or
my 2
That's-
cents is come up with a good budget number that you think you want to spend. If not, we're just hiring it out anyway.
Either way, $15,000 is
Crazy.
ridiculous. I'm sorry, what, an additional $10,000 from what previous years? And we didn't even use we
I
only.
thought it was
used-
13,000 some last year.
No, it was only
1,300.
1,300.
1,300.
Yeah,
So if Kiesler told you, Angela, that it was for services, then I would have to come down and decide it was for services.
okay, so then,
I have not ever known that person to be
It
deceptive.
wasn't
She's-
just her in the room.
Pardon?
It wasn't just Kim there, and it was Dale who told me why he wanted our police
Right.
And did he tell you what it was for?
for services.
Services.
Well, no, he used his words carefully. He said, do you think the DDA would be willing to increase the line item to be certain that you had all the police coverage you needed at your events?
Which is services.
so
Yeah.
that is using words so that it sounds like what did it say? To,
ensure.
ensure
we
that,
have
and
coverage.
meaning better police chief, because you're gonna have a new one and it's gonna be used for a buyout. And that's gonna ensure better policing or guarantee that they're gonna be there.
Okay.
Well, if that was the case, then there would be no money for services, which is
Yeah, but
ludicrous. That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so this isn't a part of our agenda. Can
Yeah.
we focus on our budget and just?
I
we
will
can deal with
recommend
that later, maybe?
to decrease the 15,000 to 5, like we had
I
in previous
recommend
years.
3, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
Because we've never spent it.
Yeah, we did 43.
A year
40
before.
43 was the budget.
43 was the year before.
Yeah, I
That's
think it
what we
was.
spent.
I think so.
20, not on here.
Normally
The
we-
activity for 2022, 2023 is 0.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not sure why it's like this on her sheet, but on the one online, we spent 43 something.
Yeah, I think it was like for a year, maybe the year before
I'm
that.
fine with 3 and we have to amend it anyways, so. we
I
could
just don't
amend it
want
after
extra money to
here.
be sitting there that people think that they can use for their own purposes.
Okay, you
So,
wanna do 3 and then we can amend it after Heritage if we think we need more?
You need a roll call on that?
no, well, on the whole thing we will.
Okay.
So
But we don't even
we're
need
not
to
even,
vote on it today.
we don't need to.
I
Well, if
believe
we're-
the budget hearing is the
As
first
well.
week of June, so we wouldn't need ours until our May meeting.
Is there any
But we
way
can if we're good with it.
so that we don't have to like talk about this during that budget meeting if it's beforehand, if there's a reason why it should be more, that Dale or Kim come to our meeting, our next meeting to discuss that, why it should be more, so that we don't have to have a heated discussion or like something come up at the budget when you guys are approving ours in June, because I want to be able to like have if able to have a discussion that doesn't, isn't on the spot like that.
But if it's for services, they should come back by utilizing what they charged us last year and say, hey, we're going to commit to being there for Jeep night, cruise night, whatever they're doing with social district. They should be able to give us a rough idea. Nope. A rough idea of what it is. I mean, no different than DPW. I mean, they give us a rough idea of cost for the year. That's what should be done.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now, everything makes sense.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I get it.
Yeah, I'm fine with, would you say
All right,
3?
Yeah.
Can we,
I'm fine with 3.
Okay.
next item, technology. We did not have a budget for it this year. Was that the one where they wanted to charge us for usage space? Is that what that 2,000 is for? I can't
No,
remember.
that's because my computer has already been replaced under warranty once and it's doing the same thing again. So it was a just in case. Yes, we
Only a
bought
year
it
old.
at the beginning of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
So that was a just in case.
I'm not
the
against
budget where
that.
they're charging us to rent space here is under.
Is it on the first? I can't remember. And that is something I want to talk about. Oh, that's office operations.
Yes.
So will you explain that to everyone because you have the firsthand explanation?
The village would like to charge us for rental space for the office, usage of the printer, electricity. We have not been charged in the past.
Where is this at? I'm sorry.
First page.
It's on the
Oh, it's on the first
Second
page.
from,
And
sorry
it's
guys, we're hopping around. I forgot
$3,000
about
for
it.
office operations.
Thank you.
So did they say, how are they going to bill this? Is it going to be like a monthly charge? Did they say?
They did not say.
I would like an explanation and
How we're being billed.
yeah. I would just like a monthly amount or whatever it is that they want to do. I'm not opposed to it. If we've never been paying, that's fine. It is what it is.
That it would be reasonable if
Right.
they did them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And like Angela said, we do use the copier more than anyone else here, basically.
Right.
So I can understand that they would want a little compensation. So yeah, that's what that is, but we'll get more clarification on that. Moving on.
I just want to make a note about estimated raise for Angela. Next meeting, we're going to have our closed session on her performance evaluation. So if you have any questions or concerns, either get them to me so we can address them, or we'll talk about them in the closed meeting.
Next meeting.
Next meeting, yep.
Special events, like three quarters of the way down the second page there. I would like to increase that to 2,500 because we've already spent that much this year as it is. Skeleton contest, I think Kim just put these numbers in the wrong spot. That should be 0. We don't spend anything for that. It should go under car show, which is the next line item, and I'd like to increase that to 3,500. Actually, maybe 4,000 because we've already spent 3,680. That would be my
Car show to
recommendation.
4.
I'm sorry.
Did you say car show to
Yeah,
4,000?
that would be my recommendation. Do we want to increase capital outlay
Yes.
due
that's
to
what I would like to talk about.
the building tear down, which obviously will not happen until next fiscal year at this point, realistically?
Yes. I think we should at least double it.
I would agree.
So,
We're making an even 50. I feel like if we're gonna do demo, but part of demo should be covered hopefully through the county land bank, so 40 should be.
leave it at 40 for now. I mean, that would be my recommendation. I'm not opposed to voting on this tonight to get it done, but that's up to everyone else. But those are my recommendations.
You said, I'm sorry, when you said the special events, you said you were gonna increase it to 2,500?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what are that's chili and,
G crew. Oh
oh no, because those
No,
are,
they
those
have
are-
their own.
yeah, so what's
yeah,
that?
I believe that is why we
Are increasing even more? I'm just, that'd be, oh, just in case we add more to our thing, okay.
more events.
Yeah.
And then it's just like our kind of catch-all for.
Right, and obviously the first year of any event is the most expensive because we've got to
Yeah.
buy signage and whatnot, which is why it's high this year from the chili crawl.
Angela, when did we get this budget figures from them?
The date on the top is March 20th.
March 20th.
Okay.
Is when she emailed it to me.
Mm.
But we didn't discuss it at the last meeting because our treasurer was not going to be in attendance.
Right.
So
What's the, do we have any idea, do we have to know the exact number, what is, or where it's at, or we just have to, those amendments?
So we don't have to vote
Okay.
on it tonight. We can vote on it next meeting. That's fine.
No, I'm just wondering if we needed, if we are voting on it, would we need to know exactly how much our budget is with all these changes?
No, we
No,
can
we
just
have to do
vote
the
on the
math.
25.
We can vote on the
25
changes.
recommended.
Okay.
The capital outlay, would that include like any costs we have for some other land
Yes.
exploration?
That would,
So do you think we should pad that up to the 50? Because we're gonna have, if we are looking
I
at,
don't know that should be on us. That's another discussion.
Okay.
Is my personal thought.
well, all right, other than those 2 lots that we're talking about, should
and
we
I'm
have a
saying
little extra there for other potential stuff?
I think we can
buildings.
see what demo costs, and then we're gonna have to amend our budget 3 more times before the end,
Right,
before
we
next year, so.
Okay.
can't
If we,
afford to buy all the lots.
I know.
So,
But if we have other costs associated with use agreements, stuff like that, until then.
I don't want to increase it too much. Doubling it seems reasonable. I think that maybe we should consider decreasing our facade grant from 40 to something a little bit smaller, only because we're going to be putting money into this parking lot. I mean, we can amend it later, but I think that if we're looking at that part for downtown, I don't know.
how many facade grants do we already know we have coming in?
Do
I
we
know
know
we
of
have
some?
Victor's.
Yeah, we
Okay.
should be getting one for my building.
Yep, one for Andy's
So-
building.
Never mind then.
Yeah,
Actually,
Yeah, I
2
have a sign.
potentially for your building,
I have a
right?
sign.
I got multiple addresses.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
I think that's why we did it. I
Okay.
thought there was a
Yeah.
reason, yeah. Because
If we already know of
what's
one,
coming
then
in.
never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would leave that alone.
yeah.
Right, so what's the consensus? Do you want to vote on it tonight or just,
Want to sit on it and think on it some more?
Do we,
You're certain it's not becoming before council till June?
I'm not on council, I'm not certain, but
I got the impression it's coming right up.
I thought the
That's-
budget
that's
hearing was
about it, the
always the
last meeting.
first, I thought the budget hearing was always the first week of June, because last year,
The villages,
correct,
but not the DDAs.
you vote on ours with yours. It has to be submitted
It's at
with
the
yours,
same
and you guys
time.
do it in the same night, because I had to be here last year for
It's
it.
a separate vote.
Right, but it's the same
But it
time.
was a s-
either way, I'm comfortable with voting on this right now. If we need to make changes, then, I mean, do we have the option of amending any of this if we approve it?
We can always amend our
We can always
budget.
Yeah, then
amend our budget.
let's just move forward, so we don't
Special
have to
meeting if
have
we
to,
have to.
we were gonna look at it last month anyways, so
I want to.
I don't wanna
Yeah,
kick
we-
this down the road any further.
So if that's the case, make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve, hold on.
The proposed.
Motion to approve the budget proposal for the 2024-2025 fiscal year with the amendments as discussed by Holly
Holly on the board.
and the board. Yeah.
I'll second it, as long as it's with all.
Those, yeah,
Adjustments.
amendment.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Abstain.
Opposed? So all ayes, Steve abstained. All right, let's move on to the next one. So number 2 was a conversation on appraisals for 203 South Main and partial Bristol Street parking lots. There's 2 lots that could be available for purchase on the south side, but we need some appraisals to determine fair market value. This is the one that you have an issue with us doing it.
Well,
So this is, just so everyone knows, this is the 203 South Main is the sand lot, the old laundromat. And the other lot is the one that Steve Francis still owns that connects to our lot.
Basically the wraparound behind the building where the fence is. Back where we had all the porta potties last year so that row there and then around the corner by the house.
So, if we are going to have any kind of, if we're anticipating making any kind of deal, we need a little bit of leverage and a fair market value. Or determining the fair market value would be the first step in doing so. Go ahead. I know you have thoughts.
So I thought you had said that the village was talking about doing this. So why would we do it? Why do we need to be the ones to purchase all of the parking? That's where I'm at. We're already in the process of purchasing one property to turn into a parking lot. Is it all our responsibility? That's my question, I guess. Do we take on the responsibility of creating all of the parking downtown? It's a lot of cost.
It is, it's,
And we
it will
don't
eat
have
up
the
all of
budget for
it. It will eat up all of it.
And I know we can get loans in all of those things, but it's a lot of money and we need to consider that.
Anybody aware of the village owning any parking lots?
I have no idea what the village owns.
We don't.
I don't think the village knows what the
Village
owns.
owns, according to what you gave us, there is a couple slivers out there that say village. My history and the houses that got missed or things, opportunities in the past that shoulda, woulda, coulda. I think one of us got to take the reins and make it happen. That's just my 2
I
cents.
get that, and I feel like we are obviously taking the reins and making it happen on School Street.
What's our capital, what's our end budget that we have for, that we have on our bank each year, at the end of this year? The amount that we have extra.
It's
Extra?
Yeah.
Well, it's not extra.
Well, no, that we have saved.
Our reserve-
It's our ending
our
fund
reserves.
balance on the last page, 367.
And we will be spending 100 and some odd of it, and then if you add our budget into that, There is
I
no
don't
extra now.
wanna, we can't even afford, even if we get appraisals, we can't afford to, we'll have
We can
to,
get loans.
we can get loans, but I
Right.
don't wanna offer, I mean, I guess we need parking, but
Well,
I think
here's,
the part of the appraisal was see what it even says and
Right.
then negotiate, see if the village wants to.
right. I think if we get it, it's gonna give us a good baseline. I mean, one number on one property was thrown out at 350, which is, I don't think, a real number. So at least we know what we're talking about.
I wanna see that parking lot, that sand lot thing get bought up and not just,
And that could be a potential, even if
Yeah, I
we
know,
don't
even
buy
if-
it,
yeah.
it could be a use agreement. I think the door has been open in conversation again with them.
yeah, I
Oh.
think that one would be beneficial. I don't know about the Steve Francis, but if it's not a lot of difference between the two and having them appraised together,
You're-
then.
You're 750 each, and that's using the same commercial appraiser we use for the other one.
Would it be $750 each for the loan?
Separate, yeah.
Yeah, the nice part is that one's already started to pull the comps on for doing our last property too.
I'm very conflicted on it.
And we can table it until we have further discussion on the other issues that have arisen tonight if you want.
Do I get to give my 2 cents?
Yeah.
I think we should, just to get an idea on value. I know it's a cost, but it takes money to, I guess, make money or spend money. But I think if I'd rather deal with the no than the guessing work, because it's been a guessing for the last X amount of years of how much maybe this or that. At least if we have an idea what it is, then if it's something we got a budget or plan for, or do a use agreement until we can pay it off, or whatever we can do, I would rather take the side of action than no action.
I have a question, and either you or you may be able to answer it. Can the village enter into land contracts with property owners? Anyone? Is that possible?
Potentially, I think.
Just curious, just popped in my head.
It's happened in the past.
Has it? Okay.
But we do through LDC and a couple other ones, we do get special rates, I do know. So just throwing that out there. At least my 2 cents is, that's my 2 cents. I think I'd rather know the values, but it's up to the board.
I would like to know the values, yes. I don't know.
I'm just wondering if we have the values right now, is that gonna change by the time we're ready to actually buy
Can
that?
change tomorrow.
Well, I'm not saying tomorrow, but
There's-
I know,
I'm
yeah.
literally saying, when you get an appraisal, that's today's value, and they're going to tell you that if the economy tanks tomorrow, that value is no longer valid. It is,
Yeah, but I would like
how
to
long
know,
can we use them for as a municipality? That I don't know.
because Steve, the price that he's putting out there and what he wants and where we're at, even if we had the fair market value or the appraisal, then if it's by the time he actually maybe came down.
The
then-
reason this came up is because I was not firsthand in this conversation, but I was told by the village manager that Steve Francis said, get it appraised and I'll sell it for fair market value.
Oh,
So that's why this,
okay.
And
I
if,
didn't know that, yeah, so then.
If we're expected to buy these properties, why are these conversations not happening with us?
same reason why
It's
we got,
concerning.
I think we
That's
should
all.
put in her office lease a cruiser. You want your own police cruiser? We'll get you one. We'll paint it orange.
I'll make a motion to order appraisals. I can. I'll make a motion to order appraisals on 203 South Main in the parking spots off of Bristol. Not to exceed $1,500.
I'll second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, getting appraised. All right, B, under new business events, special events memo to council. Discussion on the proposed memo to council regarding special events as they relate to the social district.
I just wanted you guys to see what the memo I'm sending council. That's really all it is. And if there's any corrections, or any additions, let me know.
Not what I saw before.
For the bike night, or it just says, the other ones have like a specific area. Are we going to be limiting it to a specific area, or is it just gonna be, should we just put the, northeast quadrant? Okay. Or northwest, sorry.
Catch.
Otherwise, it looks good. I like that you detailed it like that.
Anything else on that? All right, moving on to just open discussion on a Jeep Cruise Bike Night.
Starting up in May. 2 weeks,
Next week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Amazing.
I know.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
I
My
would
birthday
just
month.
like to say that I would really like to see other board members at events other than me and Angela and Andy.
Sorry.
I don't think a couple people should carry these regular events that we have. So I'd really appreciate other people's participation.
Bike nights are gonna be the tough ones too.
Yeah,
because it's
we'll have
every
a sign
Sunday.
up sheet and doing that. I think
And
that,
someone has to be at bike night, so.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be at every single one.
Right.
do we want to do the same thing with Jeep and Cruise Night where we have something where we are all like saying beforehand?
It's a lot less often, so I'm not concerned about someone
Yeah.
being there. I'm just saying it would be nice if people were actually there.
Put together
Well, just in
What-
case that, like, if, Holly's sick, at least we know, like, the one person is available, because that happened last year where you guys, so I think that we should have somebody designate, like, at least plan ahead, and so they don't have something else going on. And either way, then you just have an extra board member there to help out if needed, or, but I think that we should do the same thing, because, yeah, it's not fair, or that we're putting that responsibility on you and Angela to do all those events during the summertime. All of us want to be home with their families, hanging out, enjoying the nice weather. Yeah.
You can put together a sign up genius for all of them. At least that we can get on the calendar, what have you. They are fun to attend for people that haven't been to
Yeah,
one.
the one I went to, it was very warm. I remember you trying to eat the taco stuff from Rustic Bluebird. But yeah.
I can do that.
Garage sale weekend.
Not sure. Holly and did we talk?
I
Or
just
anything?
briefly asked, I think, if we were doing anything for it this year. That's all.
Last year we just waived
I think, yeah, we had
fees
the
for
village wave,
businesses who wanted to do the
just be on the map or
like,
whatever it
sidewalk
was.
sale and be on the map.
Do we have anything we need to get rid of?
No,
Light
I
poles.
think we've gotten rid of.
A sleigh?
Oh, we got rid of that butte.
Yeah, it's,
We painted that.
yeah.
It's beautiful now.
I didn't see it yet, so.
You haven't got a hold of?
No, I'm making another note and I'll make a post tomorrow.
Anyone wants a light pole? How many do we have?
There's a couple that are spoken for. Randazzo's is getting one, another
He's
Randazzo.
getting 4.
Four, I forget how many.
Yeah.
So stop by the office and we'll audit what's there just to double check our numbers.
Got it.
So parking lot development, RFPs for demolition and paving. Is that a mute point now as we're moving down the thing?
No, I
or-
mean, we're still gonna have to do it. We don't have to discuss them right now, but, if you guys wouldn't
Review them.
mind reviewing them and,
So we're prepared for when we need,
yeah,
when
so
we're
that
ready.
so that we can.
I
just-
did thoroughly read through them and I thought they read well. Thank you.
Where did we, just out of curiosity, where did we get the specs for this? Is it from like past ones that we've used, or did you like speak to someone or just make it?
I don't even wanna tell you.
Okay.
AI.
ChatGPT.
Oh, okay. I think the only thing, I just want to make sure that we don't overlook anything. Is it possible, do we have any old ones
Oh,
that we can just
so
compare to make sure that
Yes,
something's
and I
not missing?
already emailed them to colleagues to review and ask for their RFPs as well, so I could compare them.
Okay, perfect.
See, I didn't have any updates to it. All right. Any other questions on that? D, downtown mural.
A business owner approached me and would like a mural on the side of his building.
Ew.
Dan,
He said no before.
Yeah.
he
Now that the trees
Now
are
the
gone.
trees are gone?
called me and said, I'm open to a mural on the side of my building, so see what you can come up with.
Is that all
Um,
brick or brick and siding?
It's
Brick.
brick.
Perch on the, well, the
It's
back,
siding is the back,
far
okay.
back, yeah.
the front part.
So just start the discussion about how we would want to do that, if we would want to have like, I don't know, a contest or just design it ourselves. What do we want to see on there?
Did he want us, is he like trying to get suggestions, or is he asking for us to contribute like
I think he
financially?
is offering for us
He's
to put a mural on
Yes,
his
yes,
building.
yes, he's letting us use his wall. for-
And yes, it would take care of the paint job that needs to happen.
Yeah, so it's halfway back.
Yeah.
So two of the trees
Yeah.
removed now.
Yeah,
opens
you
that
could
up.
actually see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well.
Is there a timeline of when he was thinking? Okay.
Said,
I was
just
thinking,
want you to be
can
aware."
we have like it be like a revealing during Heritage Festival or something maybe,
That would be
like
awesome.
incorporating that? Or is that too far
It would
out?
be hopeful to get it planned,
Right.
executed.
Well, I'm saying not like
by
revealing
then.
it, but like who he picks,
Oh.
like the person for that, or is that too far along?
I don't know.
Great,
Out.
but-
Maybe get a feeling from Romeo's how long theirs took from planning from
Oh,
conception. to
well,
happen.
I'm saying
Theirs
to
is
be, to
totally
get,
different.
oh, yeah.
That was done through the DIA,
Right.
like, and it was a whole,
That was a whole big deal.
yeah. That's very
But
different.
yeah, if he's planning on putting the mural up sometime during the summer, then then there could be no contest revealing like during Heritage Festival week. Past.
Where would that fall under in the budget?
It's not, he's gonna pay for it. is
No,
it?
that's not what he meant.
No, he's just
Oh.
giving us space.
He's giving us
Oh, he's
permission.
to pay for
Yeah.
it. Oh, to do whatever, that's what I was asking, okay. He's, okay.
That would probably fall, do we have like a streetscape line item on here? Or capital outlay?
It could
Oh,
go,
there
it could
is
go
a-
outlay, it could go in,
There's a
Infrastructure.
streetscape,
Yeah, I thought there was.
3,000 from 23, 24. There's 29.54 there.
How much does it cost for a
We used
mural?
$98.
I honestly have no idea.
Something we need to,
I think we should look into
Yeah.
that, 'cause if it costs like 15, I mean, 1,000, I don't know how much it
That's
costs
a
to
big
paint,
building.
paint's expensive, I
there
know
could
that.
be, we need to look into cost, grants maybe,
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
before we open it
Yes,
to
no, I don't want to
contest.
spend a
Right.
small fortune.
But I think if,
There's probably a
I'd
good
say-
amount of grants
I would-
available.
so at this point in time, we just want to see if the board is open to
Yeah, yeah,
discussion.
that.
I would love it.
Everybody good with that? At least checking into the cost and everything. Okay. E, combined meeting with village council. Are we getting charged to show up? What
This
is
was
that?
just discussion, and we can discuss it at our next meeting.
I'd like to invite them to come to
It
ours
was-
for once.
I would like to discuss it now. What
It
is
was brought
this?
up by the village manager, just saying like he would like to have a meeting with the DDA board and village council to just discuss how we could be mutually beneficial to each other instead of not.
Instead of trying to be in our pockets.
My response would be no, thank you.
I would say my answer would be they can, more than welcome to come to our meeting, which
Yep.
we've invited to them many, many, many times. And they never, other than Steve, who has to be here, show.
He doesn't have to be here. He likes us.
Or it can be at 5 PM before our Heritage Festival meeting.
Oh my gosh.
It's a no, thank you. You're welcome to come to our meetings, as we've said over and over and over. And we have been summoned to their meetings and we do show up. No, thank you.
And I've sent many emails correcting wrong statements, even inviting, please come to our meeting or call or whatever. That's my 2 cents.
Just
Thank you for sharing.
bringing the message.
Thank you for sharing.
All right, old business, Earth Day. My 2 cents on that, that was a huge success. I mean, 50 some people, we got a ton accomplished. Steve was there with his golden shovel.
It was great. Thank
Yeah.
you again, everyone, for coming.
Yeah.
It was
Yes,
so
thank
nice
Yeah.
that our whole board was there.
Yep.
Working. It was
Yep.
awesome.
Filled up was that a 10 or 20-yard dumpster? 20?
Yeah, it was overflowing.
Yeah. So, I mean, we cleaned up a lot. John was there.
Yep.
With his
What was
chainsaw.
your take, John?
I had a great time.
Yeah.
Had a great time.
Yeah.
That back alley looks nice.
Never
looked
Behind
better.
Speedway,
Yeah.
I got to play with the chainsaw. Had a wonderful
How was Dower General?
time. Still looks good when I go there.
So, but I mean, the amount of people that showed was just great and stuck around for lunch and everything. So thanks for organizing that, Angela, and
Yeah, that was.
everybody that was there. It
It was
was,
a great time.
it's nice to see great involvement from everybody. Public comment, non-agenda item, gentlemen?
So it doesn't have to be during the meeting, but I'm one of the captains over at the fire department.
You want to come on up?
Sure. So my name is Jeff Ludwig.
Hi, Jeff.
I live at 252 Jonathan. Don asked me to come here. Fortunately or unfortunately, my daughters got accepted to the National Honor Society, so I had that meeting, so I was late
Awesome for
today.
her.
You're good, you're good.
So Don asked me to come here because I know you were talking about Heritage Festival. Last year, I think things went great. Early on, we had a little hiccup with the tent in the middle of the street. And we just want to make sure that doesn't happen again. That's really about it, you know, and I don't know if you guys have a meeting on a different day where we should be involved in that. So he's at another meeting tonight and I kind of snuck in here, but we just want to make sure in case there's an emergency, we can get down the street. And like I said, last year with the tent in the way, everyone was great. We got it moved. We were good to go.
That was my fault.
It's not, and listen, we're not pointing blame. I think part of that problem
I'll
is
take
that
it.
we just weren't involved with it. And we want to make sure we don't miss the boat on this one.
Yeah, so our meetings are always the 6 o'clock before this meeting. We do
Okay.
the planning and volunteer. They are also on YouTube, so if you ever want to catch up on something you can't be
Okay.
here, we talk through it.
Yeah, and that's like I said, I tried.
Yeah.
In times, Terry. So go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I also told Chief Smith, promised him, as soon as we have a map finalized, he's the first person I'm sending it to
Okay.
on where everything is gonna be. And
We're still planning that out.
Yeah,
So
we still
we
Yeah,
have-
I know, and I know that Don wants to be able to go down the road and go east and west. I know east is tough. I mean, and we're willing to work with you with those type of things, but anything south, or if we get called to Bruce Township, you know, we can sneak around to get to Berlin now. Going west is sometimes a little more difficult, so we may have to come down the street if we can't sneak down North Street back to Church Street. So, but getting through town is probably the most critical thing that we're concerned about. And not just for a fire, but, you know, or if somebody has a heart attack during that situation, if we can get an ambulance down there, so.
So if we kept the center of Van Dyke open all the way down, we're good.
That really is the big thing,
Okay.
yep,
Okay.
yep, and then knowing what we have, so we can let all our firefighters know that if we have a run during Heritage Festival, especially the car show, I mean, it was insane last year, and it was, I think, very successful. Because I showed up, I got in the middle of the street, looked around, went, well, we got a little problem here,
Yeah.
so, but we took care of it right away, we got it fixed, and I just we want to make sure we don't miss the boat this year, and we're involved with that part of it, that's all. So, but that's fine. If you get that over to Don,
Absolutely.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
All right.
So if we keep Van Dyke open and East and West St. Clair shut down just for those hours, but you would have access, I forget what that street is north of St. Clair by the State Farm. If you have access to get
Onto
around
Washington there. Washington. Yeah. So if I can kind of get through there, the problem with Washington, where my problem is getting to the south side. Let me see, southeast corner. So basically behind, let me help me here. Not Bushelli's, Rosa Pizza and all that. There's no good way to get there.
Okay.
I got to go all the way to Kidder, go down and come back. So if I got Van Dyke open, I should be able to sneak in somewhere past the south of downtown
Okay.
and get back into that area.
Okay.
I know that last year you ended up with more cars and we were getting pushed way south. So, if I can get through downtown and make a left on Water Street,
Okay.
then I can get into that part of the sub.
Okay.
So getting to the north side, east side is not bad. I can get around through Kidder from the fire department, and obviously I can go through the subdivision up here to the right on north to get over to West St. Clair.
Okay.
It's just, I think it's that southeast corner that's the most difficult to get to.
Okay. All right.
So that's really the big thing. Because I think going down East St. Clair, DPW was all the way down to Bristol. And I don't know if Bristol was blocked or not. So it was pretty close there.
Okay.
Do you think that it's possible to have like one of your guys on site for that during the car show in that corner, just in case an emergency does happen?
So we absolutely talked about
Yeah.
that. So it's a double-edged sword. So
Okay.
yes, we probably could get somebody down there with the jump bag,
Okay,
but to take the ambulance down there, then it's stuck. And then
okay.
I can't get it out of there.
Oh, okay, yep.
So if there's another problem.
What if we get your ambulance to a spot so it's visible for that, but you can get out? If we plan for that.
And we could, but
Yeah.
I think my biggest issue is going east. Because I know how the cars are going east and how
Right.
things are set up there. So if we were at, say, the Four Corners, or we were in Speedway's parking lot or something, I can go just about every direction except east. And that's where I'm concerned. But, we can discuss that and however you want to handle that,
Yeah,
we're
like
more
Let
than
me,
open
yeah,
to
let
that.
me throw this out to you. So our right now, the planning is to put the tent on East St. Clair, actually closer to Van Dyke, right by the entrance to that lot. If we put you behind the tent, right at the corner of St. Clair and Bristol, would that be helpful? West or East St. Clair?
East St. Clair by Bristol.
Yeah.
I mean, and but can I get to West St. Clair then from there? So
No.
so now I can't get to the west side of town. We're just, so I'm like, once again, I'm not saying we wouldn't bring somebody, but I think I would leave the ambulance at the fire hall and maybe bring the pickup and a jump bag and see if we can get a couple first responders down there to at least be down there. I mean, I don't know what the count was, but it was a tremendous amount of people down there.
And we're forecasting 500 cars this year.
And you had
400
400-ish? Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not sure we're gonna put them all, because I seen what 400 did.
We're working on that. Well,
Around.
we're moving things around and we have a little bit more access to some other lots and stuff.
Okay.
Ideally, we'd love to have that building we talked about knocked down by then, but we'll see.
Right.
Yeah. So,
And after the show last year, Don and I sat down and we said, listen, everything went fine and went good, but we don't want to miss the boat this year, that's all.
And if we can do better, we absolutely will.
Yeah, and like I said, just please understand, everybody did a great job. I mean, we're not
Thank you.
upset or anything like that. Everybody was real helpful when we needed to move the tent. We all kind of grabbed a corner and moved it pretty quick, so it was great. Thank you.
Just make sure you have more fire hats this year for the kids.
We will make sure.
Give it-
You're talking to the
Okay,
guy,
now.
you're talking to the guy that orders them, so,
All right.
yeah, I can make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
perfect. Thank you
so much.
Thanks. Any other public comments on the agenda?
So you're gonna
You're
work
gonna be
out
quiet,
that
John?
map
What's that?
You're gonna be quiet?
for Chief
All
Smith?
right. All right. Just
He
checking.
got to talk to us a lot on Saturday.
I know.
Where everything's located and the map I gave DPW.
Okay.
That's what road.
All right. Any board questions, comments from anybody? No, we good? All right. Any future agenda items anybody wants us to discuss? No? All right. Well, let's adjourn at 8:30 p.m. then. Thank you all.
8:30 on the dot. Look at us.
On the button.
What was that?
Hi.